How's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining us today on this Monday, 24th of June, 2024. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us today on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, and Pill.net. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and do Kay's part today. She's not feeling so awesome, so send her your prayers, please, because, well, sometimes we need them too. Anyways, like to make sure, or like to ask you to make sure that you hit that like, share, and subscribe button, that thumbs up over on X and Rumble and X.
Rumble and YouTube.
Oh, that's right, Rumble and YouTube. See, she's there. She's there to catch me.
Please smash that heart if you're over on
There we
X.
go. And the pill.
And take that red pill if you're over on pill. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And we want to give a big shout out to Kelly and
Kelly
her hubby.
and her husband out there in Alabama.
We got your message and it meant the world to all.
It was amazing.
All three of us.
Yeah, we all appreciated it. Thank you very much. Thank you for the sweet words. So with that being said, why don't we go ahead and say hi to everybody out there today? Got Aaron out there claiming first day. Got Bethany Ann. Got Light Spear over there on Pill. Thanks for joining us over there. And there's Bethany. Thank you for moving those comments over.
Yes.
Truly appreciated. She does so much more.
Yes, she does a lot, guys.
Yeah, she does a lot. Got Chachi in the house. What's up, Chachi? Hope you're doing good. Got Denise. Welcome back, Denise. Got F. Clem. Yo. What's up, man? Got Steph here. What's going on, Steph? There we go. All right. I'm doing other stuff and almost forgot. That's okay. Life happens and it's Monday. So there is that. And then prayers out to Kay. Thank you, Steph. All right. So, all right. Why don't we just jump right in, because it was a nice weekend. It was good overall. Had a good time, and yeah, just got a stomach bug. Of course, that's because she cooked so much amazing stuff yesterday, proof and everything that she's going to put in the cookbook. Probably shouldn't try to eat half of the cookbook in one day, but hey, it is what it is, right? And of course we had to work on the sweet treats too. So to take me off a giant face. This is punishment, isn't it? Hey, Jan. Thanks for joining, Jan. Much love.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go.
Are we ready? I am.
Did you know that Jeff Bezos' grandfather was one of the founders of DARPA? The super secret Pentagon project that invented the internet? Jeff Bezos has credited his grandfather on numerous occasions for being impactful in his life growing up. Lawrence Preston Guise. Jeff Bezos' grandfather worked for the U.S. government in the now dissolved Atomic Energy Commission. 1958, LP Guise helped form the Advanced Research Projects Agency, eventually renamed as DARPA. After the assassination of JFK in 1963, LP Guise was appointed as head of the Atomic Energy Commission. 1965, AEC discovers about 300 pounds of weapons-grade uranium missing from the NUMEC plant, Nuclear Materials and Equipment Corps, in Apollo, Pennsylvania. It was founded by a man named Zalman Shapiro. Just 3 years later, in 1968, Israel tests its first nuke. CIA later determined that the material came from the missing NUMEC uranium. It was better known as the Apollo affair. We were told that Jeff Bezos started Amazon in his garage in 1994. We've all seen this pic. Something from nothing. A great American success story. Or was he chosen to be a frontman? Interesting enough, John Greenwald of Black Vault tried to pull up LP Guise's records via the Freedom of Information Act, only find out that all the records were destroyed. Jeff Bezos' grandfather, who he credits as a big inspiration in his life, helped found one of the most secretive U.S. government organizations in existence, was part of the know when U.S. nuclear materials were stolen and later found in Israel, and then grandson starts the biggest data collection and storage company in the world in Amazon. It becomes one of the world's richest men while having all U.S. government records destroyed. And we're to believe Amazon started in a garage with a loan from his parents. Ever wonder why his ex-wife Mackenzie Scott got so much money in the settlement? Knew too much?
I don't know about knew too much, because if she knew too much, then she wouldn't know anything anymore, because they have a tendency of, making people disappear. Anyways, yeah, instead of paying millions upon millions of dollars. No, she was. I believe that Mrs. Bezos was certainly a part and parcel to all of the shenanigans that were going on. Uh, she, definitely played a part, earned some cred there. So, with that being said, about Bezos's grandpa, like that's not a surprise to me because we see that there's a lot of generational connections and stuff like that. And so those generational connections seem to play a very big part. And that is just one more check in the box in terms of it looks like the usual conspiracy of being groomed from a young age that they teach their kids to do this or that or the other thing, and they get wrapped up into everything on their own. So, not a surprise. I kind of always doubted that somebody who was pushing some books through their garage would be able to do all that. So, yeah, there's a lot of curiosity there. But, you know, I mean, what are we going to do about it? I think that this is probably a pre-disclosure for all of the things once everything starts to get disclosed. I've been watching Stephen Baldwin on TikTok. He's been doing a lot of posts lately, and it's very interesting. Or at least he's hitting my feed a lot lately. Nice to see, but it seems like we're about ready to enter another phase in terms of what's going on. So it may get a little ridiculous, but then again, we're getting real close to the election, and we know that they want to find some way to suspend the Constitution to keep Biden in office, and then ergo try to play some shell game, after they declare Biden unfit. So just stay vigilant and stay aware and keep trying to wake people up as far as that's concerned. But I do believe that it's all going to be exposed soon. And this is just prep for that when we start to find out stuff like that.
Denise says 134 days
134 days.
until the election.
Well, do all your preps you can for the next 134 days. Live each one of them like they're your last, and make sure that your heart is fulfilled, and that whatever. I'm not saying it's the end. I'm just saying it's going to be the end of what we probably know, because things are going to get probably a little dumb for a little while.
Ready?
I don't know. That's what I got. Yeah.
Jenna Hager is the co-host of Today with Hoda and Jenna, and her maiden name is Jenna Bush. Her dad, George W. Bush, was president. His dad, George H.W. Bush, also president. His dad, Prescott Bush, tried to overthrow the government and install a military dictatorship. In 1933, a plot to overthrow FDR was uncovered by a retired General Smedley Butler. Who names their kid Smedley? He had been approached by prominent businessmen, including Prescott Bush, J.P. Morgan, Henry Ford, and Harvey Firestone. They wanted to overthrow the democratically elected president and install a military dictatorship with Butler at the head of it. He ended up turning them in for treason, and they were all hung. No, they just had to sign a piece of paper saying, I promise to never try and overthrow the government again. 44 years later, his son became the director of the Central Intelligence Agency just after they had overthrown two presidents. He went on to be vice president, and then 8 years later, his son was president. So did he uphold his promise to never try and overthrow the government again? Or did he just play the long game and infiltrate it from the inside? Back to you, Hoda.
Like that works, because you seem crazy and then you stop.
Thoughts?
So we've talked about the business plot before, and Smedley Butler, two-time Medal of Honor recipient, trying to expose that plot, and it really showcases how generational this really is. And so if you let that sink in a little bit, and you start to recognize, okay, they already had enough juice back when they tried the business plot that nothing happened to them other than a slap on the wrist. Don't do that. That they made it something that would take generations long, a legitimate conspiracy to overthrow the government over the course of many, many generations. Denise says, I'm happy to be wrong, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. I don't think it's going to be super bad, but I do know that Jenna's twin? I do believe so.
She is a twin.
Oh, she is a twin. Okay. I don't think it's going to be that bad either, Denise. But what I do think is that even Q was prepping us for 10 days of darkness. So like that's just it's like just be prepared to be on your own for 10 days while everything gets squared away. And everything should be fine. I don't think it's going to be pandemonium, or I don't think it's going to be that bad. But then again, just be aware. That's all. So, as far as the generational thing that's been going on, I know that that's part of what's been getting cleaned out. But it also says a couple of other things to me. It says that the powers were already corrupt if they were going to allow a plot like that to just have a slap on the wrist. It tells me that it was already corrupt by then, and so we're talking about during the FDR years, which means that there was an attempt to overthrow, which was probably successful, and that would probably be the Federal Reserve System that we're under right now, would be my guess. And then the people that were part and parcel, or at least understood that was going on, but didn't try to stop it, would have been the people that were trying to counter and get us out from underneath that system altogether. So I'm not exactly sure how that plays out, but it's starting to seem like those pieces are the pieces that are being put together for me right now.
You ready?
Yeah.
You want to know how God is about to elevate you in your life? You are constantly being tested by the enemy. God allows this, just like he did in the story of Job. It is a test of your faith, the genuineness of your faith when things seem like they're not going your way. The enemy wants to make it seem like God is not there for you. The enemy wants to make it seem like God doesn't care. And that is the biggest lie from the enemy. Do not believe it. There is a massive blessing awaiting for you on the other side of passing these tests. Cling to the Lord, cling to his word, and keep saying your prayers.
So things look bleak sometimes. Things look like, oh, hold on. Denise says the Pershevelt theory that JF Anon, Sapioplex, and Defender of the Republic put together seems to be proving true. Well, I can tell you, I really don't know what that one is right now. So I will have to do some research on that to find out exactly what that theory is. But thank you for sharing that, Denise. And I will say that those Anons very much know what's going on, and or at least they're really good at research and putting things together. We can say that without a doubt. Whether or not they actually know what's going on in terms of being inside a queue, I don't believe so. I think that they are legitimate Anons that just have a God-given ability to let them see things in a way that they can almost see what's actually happening behind the curtain that Oz has going on. So yeah, definitely some great people. And y'all should look them up just to find out just what they have, because they do share great information all the time. And Rambo has them on his show frequently as well. So shout out to Rambo.
Okay, back to the video.
Back to the video. So let's see. God, it's been so long. I was talking forever now.
God is about to elevate you.
God is about to elevate you, and that's something that we all need to keep in mind. God keeps his promises, and when we go through these trials, he said he hit the nail on the head. To me, it sounded like it was. It is not that he's testing you, but you are being tested. Your faith is being tested, and you show your faith to be true, and you will come through everything with many more blessings than you can possibly imagine. And I think that that's the best part. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. There we go.
I think Joe Biden's doing a wonderful job. And he's a nice man, because that President Trump is just mean. I just don't like the things that he says. He's just mean and arrogant, and he's a bully.
If I hear that one more time, I am going to go crazy. This man is fighting
Let's list the people he's fighting. He's fighting almost the entire news media. He's fighting all the Democrats. He's fighting all the communists. He's fighting all the socialists. He's fighting all of our enemies across the ocean. And sadly, he's fighting half the Republicans. How is this man a bully? How is he a bully? You see, we hear that at work sometimes. Some of us are a little shy about stepping up, standing up, saying anything. People look at us and say, why are you a Republican? We say, well, you know, my mom voted Republican. I like Ronald Reagan. I think he did a great job, and I like Reagan. And so that's why I'm a Republican. We shy away from the truth. We don't want to look at that person and say, you know, well, wasn't it the Republican Party that was formed to stand up for the Republic? Not the democracy like you see splayed on the news every day. You see, them folks want a democracy. They want the mob to rule. They don't want this republic. They don't want Republicans standing up for the republic.
Thoughts, Santino?
It's exactly what's been going on. Is you know, you don't know what to say. Now, with that being said, it's nowhere near as bad as that, but it's like once you start to wake up and you realize that at least half of the Republican Party is bad, so you really don't have a party that you can rely on. It's kind of difficult to say where you're at a certain point in time. It's like, well, I know it's not Democrat, and I know it's not, you know, 100%, you know, like party line vote, you know, not definitely not doing that. Just want some people that actually care about America. And so he brings up the whole republic thing. See, that's the thing. That's the thing that matters, because democracy is mob rule. That's the reason why the founding fathers chose not to make America a democracy. Now, is there some democratic aspects to it? Well, much more now than what it's designed to be. We should get rid of a lot more of the democracy. Definitely, the senators need to go back to being appointed by the state legislatures, and that we've talked about this here before. That'll make huge differences if we have the senators go back to being appointed by the state legislature, and then state legislatures had the ability to say, okay, you can't vote on anything until the state legislature votes on whether or not you can say yes or no. And so it created a lot more power within the state legislatures, which is exactly what should be. Government has gotten too big because there's too few people that are in charge of so much money for way too many people than what they should be in charge for. And it's been proven time and time again that you get smaller voting blocks, and things are much more like the people that are living there in that little area, because they have a lot more power, and our power's been taken away. So yeah, I am a Republican, but I have a much bigger vision than what the Republican Party has to say. And it's something that appeals to a lot of people that are from either party. Because really, if you think about it, how many people on the left say that the system is corrupt, right? They can see that the system's corrupt. What they can't see is that their people are doing the very corruption. It's mind-boggling to me. But then again, that's how they get this. That's how they get those votes, because they do the gaslighting, the narcissistic personality disorder, where you accuse your victim of the very thing you're doing. So as they call Trump a bully, he's one guy, and it's all these thousands of voices, these talking heads from all over the place that are the ones that are actually bullying, because they have some kind of digital pulpit where they get to have the final say in terms of what actually gets said. The good thing is more and more people are starting to see that. And as more people wake up, the 100th monkey effect that's been talked about on here before, the 100th monkey effect, where you get so many, more people wake up. And as we get closer to, you know, that 100th monkey, boom, everybody's going to wake up. And that time is coming. And I think that those are going to be the things that we need to look forward to. But we need to have confidence in terms of what we're saying. Yeah, I'm voting Republican, or yeah, I'm voting for Trump, but this is why. You know, There's millions of reasons. And you call him a bully, well, have the facts are on everybody's side. So as long as we're using the facts, those are the things that'll help make the argument that we need made, so that way we can get more people to finally start grasping the truth.
Ready?
Yeah.
Can't find my mouse.
Can't find your mouse. Oh no, there it is.
The grave of Muhammad is full. The grave of Jesus Christ is empty. The grave of Siddhartha Gautama Buddha is full. The grave of Jesus Christ is empty. The grave of Confucius is full. The grave of Jesus Christ is empty. The grave of Karl Marx is full. The grave of Jesus Christ is empty. It is that historical resurrection from the dead that sets Christ apart as unique, as trustworthy, as credible.
One of the reasons that I am convinced that God exists is because of my experience of love. Love is not simply a chemical reaction. You can't x-ray a heart and find love. You can't take a blood sample from a person and pinpoint what love is. Love is intangible, non-physical. You can't show me a foot of love. You can't measure out a pound of love. It's an intangible value, but it's love that makes the world go round. It's love that makes a family a family. It's love that allows estranged husband and wife to forgive each other and to begin to love each other again. And Jesus Christ revealed that at the heart of the cosmos is a God who loves you and who loves me.
About Santino.
That was an amazing observation that I've never heard before. And that is that the graves of all of these teachers that have been put on this earth, all their graves are still full. It's only Yeshua's or Jesus's grave that is empty. And so you think about that, and that's the one that only follows through with the promise of resurrection. Now let that one sink in for a little bit. Do these other teachers teach you a path? Well, I can't think of the verse off the top of my head, but there are many pathways to enlightenment, but only one way leads to God, and that is the narrow gate. And if you really follow through with that and you think about it, it's like, but only one leads to resurrection. So isn't that the one that makes just a little bit more sense than the rest? Because the grave is empty. That's the ultimate sales job right there, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, think about it. It's just kind of got to look at things a different way. I thought that was brilliant. I absolutely love that.
You ready?
Yeah.
I just think it's funny the United States government actually expects the United States people to believe that the southern border is secure. Let's have a discuss. The other day, there were two individuals who crossed the southern border illegally, who tied up and strangled a 12-year-old girl and then threw her body in a creek. A 12-year-old girl, Jocelyn Nungare. 3 weeks prior to this incident, those two same individuals were stopped at the border and then released with a future court date. First and foremost, I don't know about you, but I understand that criminals don't follow laws. So if you know that somebody's bad, you're going to release them on their own reconnaissance into a country they're not even supposed to be in on a court date and expect them to abide by that and be good? What type of procedure do you have in place and think that that is okay? Great job, ICE. Great job, Border Patrol. Give yourselves a pat on the back. And now another individual, a 12-year-old child, has lost their life at the hands of people who have crossed the border illegally. This is fucking ridiculous.
About Santino.
It seems to me that would be common sense. Like, yeah, you're telling me that it's secure, yet these things keep happening that prove that the border is not secure. I mean, there was that one where they were rushing across the border and kind of overran the position. Actually, they did overrun the position at the Texas border there. That was a couple months back now. So why like how do you reason with somebody that doesn't like get that. It's like, yeah, but the border's secure. Are you sure? Like you see that everything's going on. So it's one of those things. Yeah, he's exactly right. How do we help people understand that? How do we help people see that other than to point out the facts? And I guess that's the best thing that we can do to help. Yeah, it is ridiculous. It's the best thing we can do. Aaron says so many citizen journalist videos about how unsecure our borders are. Oh, there's tons of them. There's tons of them. So are these people not concerned about the invasion at the border? Do they not hear the numbers? I mean, like CNN even talks about it. What are they saying? Everything's going to be fine. These people are fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. It's like, and they just buy that. At some point in time, they need to start really taking a look. And maybe this is where the videos of the military age males comes in, showing people, look, it's not, people trying to make a better life for their wife and kids. These are people that are, obviously committing crimes other than the crime of coming across the border illegally. So
Comment.
what gives? Okay, Denise says it's not just the little girl either. Exactly. It's her family, her friends, her community. It's organized criminal trauma. And that's what it is. It
She'll
is
have
causing trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, her family will have trauma for the
But
rest of
how
their
many
life.
people have died at the hands
I know.
of illegals?
I know.
I know. They're trying to make it so that way we can't use that word.
I know.
They're going to make saying illegal illegal. I'm done with this. This is, yeah, it's at a certain point in time, I guess it just seems like it's like, how do you not see it? You're so far removed from the argument.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is a video from Christian. So,
what's up, Christian?
Frankly, should have never been brought. And if his name was not Donald Trump, and if he wasn't running for president, I'm the former AG in New York, I'm telling you that case would have never been brought. And that's what is offensive to people. And it should be, because if there's anything left, it's belief in the justice.
did he just say that?
I'm shocked. Like I'm really shocked. I can't believe he said that. That's mind blowing. But I guess how do you wake some people up?
I guess.
That's wild. So he said the quiet part out loud. Of course, then again, he's being 100% honest. Yeah, 2 Democrats, but he's being 100% honest. But I think that they're going to have to certainly change tact, because after the whole Bronx visit and how well that went with so many people that showed up.
Exactly. Ooh, that blows my mind. Are you ready?
Oh, Chachi says, I think those words are a requirement for his Cuomo's plea deal. And see, that makes a lot of sense too. Like that's the kind of thing that it's like, okay, part of your plea is because they say that from what I understand is that if you make a deal, you get to keep your reputation. And so they have to basically save his reputation that way. But apparently that's about the end of the plea deal, is just that they keep their reputation. So yeah, that's an excellent point, Chachi. I think that's 100% it. Yeah, Chachi nailed it. Yeah, bravo.
You ready?
Yeah. Chachi gets
For me, everything in 2020 shifted. And there are some people who noticed it sooner. But the best way I can describe it is life was like a game of musical chairs. Everyone was doing their own thing, living life, whatever. And in 2020, for me, it felt like God stopped the music. The world stopped. And everyone's scattering for their chairs. But what was really happening when God stopped that music, it was time for everyone to start picking a side. The veil was lifted. He started showing everything. Everyone's scattering. Now we're picking sides. And I feel that way because it's been hundreds of thousands of people just like me who out of nowhere felt called by God, snatched up by God. Like my whole life, I was living lukewarm for 25 years. And randomly in 2023, January of 23, God called me. He woke me up. Nothing had happened before that. I didn't hear a sermon that touched me. I didn't have a word spoke to me. It was a random night. The Holy Spirit came over me and woke me up. And I remember vividly hearing God telling me, you have to pick a side. You have to pick a side. You have to choose this day who you're going to serve. And now everyone's picking their sides. Now, don't get me wrong, Satan has always been the God of this world. But I noticed a drastic uptick after 2020 in the demonic rituals we were seeing, the subliminal messages and all the media and movies and art. It just was so blatantly obvious that there was a spiritual war going on, to the point where non-believers, believers, everyone's seeing it at this point. Normal music artists were now dressing up as Satan doing rituals. Like, what? And then out of nowhere, there's a lot of celebrities or just people in general randomly coming to Christ. Like, y'all, that's not a coincidence. Something is happening. Whether you believe or not, we all feel something is coming, something's happening. And it's not normal. And this isn't me being crazy. I'm just being real, a real human being right now. There's so many days where I like zone out and I feel so disconnected from my body. And I start feeling like something's happening, something's about to happen. And I don't know. I don't know if it's a feeling from God, like He's warning me. But lately I have been feeling more led to share this message and speak, because it seems like everyone's just going throughout life and ignoring it when we all feel it. You can deny it all you want, but we know what is happening right now is not normal. And of course, there's going to be people who are like, oh, Christians are trying to fearmonger people, or trying to force their beliefs on people. It has nothing to do with that. I gain nothing from trying to put fear in anybody. I'm just speaking facts and living in reality. And I notice that when Christians speak, it's a problem, or we're pushing our agenda. But y'all been letting Satan push his agenda since the beginning of time. Look at the things we watch. He's in what we listen to. He's everywhere. But we're okay with that. You know, there's Satanist groups at schools now, in elementary schools. But that's fine. Like, this world is so backwards. So all in all, regardless of what you believe or what you don't believe, every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. And I'm passionate about this because my heart has been so heavy. You know, I pray and I just hope that all people get to know God. They come to know Him. They come to repentance and realize that this life is temporary. This life is but a vapor. And our soul will go somewhere after this. We have a true living God to answer to after this. In the times we're in now, this is just the beginning. This is a time where we need to cling to Him the most.
About Santino?
We do need to cling to him the most.
Did you notice she was Space Force?
Yeah, I did see Space Force. So she brought up, like, I was going through like this whole flood of everything that was going on in 2020, because that's when we woke up, or the 2019 is when we started to wake up. But that was certainly a time of a lot of people awakening to everything that was going on. And I think that we are heading towards God more and more every day. And I would say, yeah, the naysayers, they're always going to talk about how it's, trying to push your agenda down their throat, whatever. But she also makes the perfect counterpoint, and that is you get Satan's counterpoint every single day, and you pay for it. You ask for it and you're okay with it. And I think that as they've gotten more ridiculous, it's been the things that have helped to wake people up. I do believe that every knee will bow, or every head will bow and every knee will bend, and proclaim Yeshua HaMashiach, or Jesus as the Christ. And so it's we're headed in that way, and our prayers get more and more powerful every single time somebody wakes up to the truth, the reality. I even remember hearing people talk about in the chats before, about how, like, their employer during the whole lockdowns and have to get the jibber jabber and stuff like that, where they'd say, if you can't figure it out now, you're pretty much lost in terms of what's going on. They figured the person to be a lot smarter to figure out that it really is a fight of good versus evil. And the sad thing thing is people are so asleep they just don't see it. But the good news is as more and more people wake up, as the enemy keeps doing their stupid moves, the things that they do, then there's absolutely no reason to believe that people won't continue to wake up, because their choices are limited. They don't have very many options. But the sad thing is, and they probably know this, is that all of the options that they have, all the arrows in their quiver that they have left, are the ridiculous things that are going to end up waking more people up. So I think that would be a probably pretty miserable spot to be in, to recognize that you're just playing it out for the sake of playing it out, and holding on to the game as long as you can to maintain the existence that you have. And I guess that's part of the grand lesson that we're all going through. And it helps us see the truth for what it is at our own pace. Aaron says, so many people in my life that I once saw as good that often proclaimed to be Christian, that went full mental during 2020 and became rabid beasts, to say the least. Boy, isn't that true? People really did lose their minds. They got on that power trip of telling other people how they should be living their lives. And that's, their hearts got hardened. And I guess the best we can do is pray for them, because if it's true, then it seems that a lot of these people used faith to profit for themselves individually. And I know that that's not a good thing that anybody's going to want to go through. Got wrapped up in the temporal. All right.
You ready?
Yep. What's up, Rambo?
Well, there's a builder out here that makes about $40 billion a year. The second best builder only makes about 8. Let's look at today's inspection and see how they may be making so much money.
I don't know what it is with this builder, but I always try to crawl to the end of the attic because they don't like to put fasteners in all the holes at the hangar. All right, here we got our 8 inches of insulation to pass inspection. Let's look on the other side of the deck. Well, look, Wi-Fi insulation. Don't need to insulate where the inspector can't see.
Let's see how well they did at the faux stone. That's impressive. Oh, sorry, but that's only 1. You sure?
Gotta save money on that paint. Well, that's an impressive patch.
For how often I come across those broken welds, it makes me wonder, is the manufacturer selling broken products to the builders at a discounted price, and then when they get caught, they just say, oh, that's not under warranty?
Broken. This fixed frame needs to be bolted.
Because it's not from outside, you just lift that cover up and slide that door right open, even though it locks on the other side.
Thoughts?
Coming here and doing the jobs that Americans won't do, right? I'm sure I saw some terrible craftsmanship in there as well. Anybody that actually cares about the community that they live in isn't going to want to do things so half-assed. And it shows how hard people's hearts have become, and that a lot of these things, we've been calling them profit boxes for years and years, because they're not building homes. They're not building houses even. They're just building profit boxes. And that's pretty pitiful, that you have to look at an older house because you believe in its construction better than you believe in new construction today. What's the point of buying new construction? And then another thing to think about is the way people are flipping houses now, because everybody watched some TV about how to flip a house, and then they realized, oh, I can get all this profit, and then they have to cut all these corners so that way they can get that kind of profit, and that's pretty sad too. Country's fallen a long way, but this is what people are waking up to. People have to experience, they have to live it. Exactly, Denise, bring back Amish barn raising. But everything that's made by the Amish, because they are community focused, is going to be of a much higher quality. And
Carol.
Hey, Carol. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is much crap. It is a bunch of crap that people would build stuff like that. playing trivia. Rambo says, I took Kim out for dinner. Enjoy your dinner, sir. Why are you here? Anyways, we are playing trivia, but I wanted to stop in and show some love. I truly appreciate that, brother. Appreciate you sending the love. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, yeah.
You ready?
One more point that I wanted to make about that video, and that is apparently a lot of home inspectors don't care. You know, they're just looking for a paycheck as well. The system's broken. So what does that mean? It means that you need to be very diligent about any purchases that you make. And it's not just going to be homes. It's going to be with so much other stuff. That's why people are having to grow their own food now. You know, I guess now we got to start building our own houses.
Yeah.
God. All right.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I miss COVID. I know. Dude, you know what I knew? There was trouble when anyone that came to our country didn't have to get a vaccine. And I go, if you're telling me I can't go to work, but everyone coming in doesn't have to get one, I go,
well, once we found out when Fauci said, okay, I'm sorry, but if you've had 2 boosters and 2 vaccines, you can get and give COVID to another guy who's had 5 vaccines and 4 boosters. What's the difference between a vaccine and a booster? I don't know. It's just more vaccine, but booster sounds better. Anyway, a guy with 25 vaccines would get and give COVID to another guy with 25 vaccines. That's why I'm introducing the daily COVID shot. Every day you get a shot. By the time you get to your car, you got no immunity. But it's a beautiful 39 seconds.
He sounds like Fauci.
No.
Like, could he be one of the actors for Fauci? Isn't it interesting that we're starting to see all of these actors and actresses that we haven't seen for so long, and now they're coming out of the woodworks? Isn't that interesting?
Very interesting.
They've been busy playing some parts in the past. Yeah, that's interesting. So, what was it? Oh, yeah, he brought up that point about the fact that they were telling us that we had to get the jibber jabber, but they were letting people get across the border, and that was okay. They were even telling us that that's fine. They don't have to have it. And that was one of those things where it was like I was taking that evidence to people and presenting it to them and telling them, you know, do you see this? Well, it's just the way they're doing things. How can you write that off? And that's pretty sad. Aaron says he does good impersonations, has his whole career. Yeah, boy, that's the truth. Yeah. There's 2 great actors there too.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Great comedian.
Great comedians. Excellent comedians.
Got some Kelly.
Got it. What's up, Kelly?
Oh, son, what do you do when the devil will not leave you alone? Amen. What was it? About a week ago, I posted a video coming home from preaching to 30,000 people, seeing my tire got slashed in my truck. I made a video about it, giving God praise, even when the devil tries to destroy you. And what did I get? I got thousands of comments making fun of me, laughing at me, telling me it was probably God looking out for me. But, you know, I knew in my Holy Spirit that was the enemy attacking me. All right. I knew that. And all week I fought those comments in my mind saying, no, I'm going to have the joy of the Lord. I got done preaching at a camp this week. I saw over 1,000 kids get saved. I'm driving home tonight and hit a deer and completely crushed in the whole front of my truck. I can't drive it, can't do anything. But you know what I do know? God is still good. He is still on the throne. And you know what, enemy, devil, you are not going to get me down. And I don't care what one person thinks about me. My God is in control. And he allows us to go through things like this so he can build us and shape us. And every once in a while, he lets you go through this because it's a test. And he wants to see how you handle it. And I'm telling you, Father, I'll take it. You do whatever you want. You own it all. You own the cattle on 1,000 hills. You own this truck. You own my life. I give you all the glory. You gave it to me. You give me another one. I will sit here on the side of the road as long as it takes for someone to come get this truck. And you know what? I will praise his name the entire time. And you can make fun of me. You can make fun of my God. But I'm telling you, he will get the last laugh. He is the provider. And he will take care of every single one of us. We just have to go to him. And that's where I'm at. Devil, you lose again. Ha! I laugh in your face, son. God is good. Think about that for a minute.
Thoughts?
He looked like he was struggling in that. But I will say that
He hit a deer.
Yeah, I know. Well, a deer hit him. Well, yeah, they hit each other. We'll go with that. Let's see. Aaron says, yeah, I found out like 14 years ago and always kept my eyes open because I like David a lot. And of course, Wayne's World. Yeah, party on Wayne, party on Garth. Anyway, so back to Kelly. It was that would be a challenge. Like I'd say he's doing a lot better than I'd be doing in that kind of situation. So, mad props, shout out to Kelly K, because you know what? He recognizes what it is. And that's the presence that we need to have and that we need to understand. Okay, we're done with that. It's time to move on to something else, and it may be something. And see, the car is a very unique thing here in America, especially compared to the rest of the world. We really do love our vehicle. We see it as an extension of ourselves. That's why people get so angry when somebody's driving like a fool, because they see it as an extension of themselves, and you're going to hurt you're going to hurt an aspect of myself, which is an egotistical thought process, but we're not going into that. But that is a very unique American thing. And so when something like that happens, especially when your car's hit, Nick just went through this, and he's doing very good. So the prayers for him have really been helping out. So
keep praying.
Yeah, keep praying for him because he's going through some struggles right now. I'm not about to put out all his business, but needless to say, after any kind of car accident, there's even if it's not tons and tons of physical things at the moment, it does not mean that there's not all of the other crap that's going on in the background.
He did, Jan.
Yeah, he did have his tires cut last week. Exactly. Yeah, Kelly K did. Sorry, it's dry out here. We live in the desert. But anyway, yeah, he did have his tires cut. So all of this plays together some way, somehow, that's going to eventually make perfect sense to him in his life. And it seems like the loss of this vehicle is something that, kind of hurts.
About to elevate him.
Yeah, but God's about to elevate him. And he hit the nail on the head when he was talking about that too. God gave him this one. He's going to give him something else afterwards. And I think that, watching this whole thing play out, as we watch life play out, we see that he does follow through with his word every single time. And so it's the faith in these difficult moments and these challenges that we need, so that way we can get through these tests and really be able to help everyone out around us. And I know Kelly will be blessed with probably something that's going to be 10 times better for him, and he may not even know it. It's going to be fun to watch that one. Denise says, simple servant. Exactly. Showing people the way. There you go.
You ready?
And he did that amazingly. Yep.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
All right, Santino.
All right. Towels. Look, we've been using the towels. We've been using the towels for a little while now. Absolutely amazing. They are just a cut above. I've heard that in the past, like when he first came out with the towels, maybe not so much, but I will say that not only our reviews, but other people that have gotten the towels recently. The towels are absolutely amazing. Mike Lindell makes sure that he puts out a good product because he's a solid American and he's willing to put himself out there. So if nothing else, if you're in the market to buy anything that Mike Lindell has on MyPillow, mypillow.com, then I would say it's worth doing it just because you're supporting the thing, the very thing that is the principles that built this nation, with people like him that keep it alive. So that, if nothing else, just a reason to go shopping there. So if you go there, mypillow.com/DTOO, that way they know that we did it, and that would help us out too. And we truly appreciate that. And yeah, thank you.
Exactly. Aaron says he'd rather hang with Kelly than Trump, and he really likes Trump. I agree. I think hanging out with Kelly would be amazing.
I think it would be amazing too.
Yep. You ready?
Yes,
some
please.
Shipwreck.
Okay, good. I can drink some
Is it
water.
just me? I really hope I'm not alone in this, but is idolizing and worshiping a politician from any party the strangest behavior that you could ever see?
Sure the fuck is, Scott D. Henry.
Listen, you should be voting for President Donald Trump, 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 Donald Trump's Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald.
Fucking weird as hell. Hey Scott, do you remember when Roe versus Wade was overturned and you made a big TikTok scaring the shit out of your 3.1 million followers who are women, telling them that we're all gonna die because they weren't allowed to have abortion, acting like it was a total ban throughout the whole United States, when in actual reality the decisions were just left up to the state? Do you remember when myself and some other people had made videos about it, correcting your behavior, but you didn't do anything but block the majority of us? Pepperidge Farm remembers. That was an account or two ago, though. Glad you're out here still showing your ass off. Daniel Lane, Scott D. Henry, stop acting like you know.
Thoughts?
The only thing I could focus on was the fact that he said Donald Trump so many times. And yeah, that was a beautifully put together video. But this is how what they do actually helps people wake up. Because they sit there and they go through this fear, more fear, more fear, more fear. And there's never any hope, right? You know, other than putting it into somebody that I think everybody at this point in time is able to tell that he's a feeble old man. And they just can't bring themselves to think that that's the way to go about doing anything. And they hear Donald Trump, but they keep hearing his name over and over and over again. And it puts them into more of a panic. And so they end up saying things, and they try to get into this argument because they want to wake people up as well. And the difference is we're not really upset about anything at this point in time. We're not upset because we realize that God's got us. We recognize that more people are waking up. We've recognized that the press has been lying. So that puts us at ease in comparison to these people who are actually taking everything that the press and these social media influencers are, saying, because they're just using fear porn. And so really, they force their viewers to find their way to us, and as they continue to try silence voices, because I heard that some judge ordered that they're going to basically sell off all the assets of InfoWars at this point in time. It's not going to stop them. If nothing else, it's just going to make them bigger. But with that being said, these are the things where once people wake up, they recognize how dangerous of a game this really is. And it will be more of a lasting thing that happens as people wake up, because they'll recognize how close we really came. Only at the precipice will people have the desire to change. Another Q quote there. Denise says, I really worry about the mentally ill in the upcoming months. That is something that I truly understand. And I worry about the mentally ill as well. We have people who have all sorts of various kinds of depression that are going on. And I think that as we start to wake up with Aaron, at Denise, so many of the mentally ill are chemically ill. And that's true as well. And not from the drugs, but from the stuff and the food and water, etc. Yeah, exactly. Stuff doctors have done. Yeah, I know. And that's another thing too, is that we're recognizing that all of these people are being brought down off of the pedestal that they were on before. Recognizing that the jibber jabber was something that each and every one of them should have looked at and researched on their own. And all they had to do was open up the indications and warning paper that comes with every single bottle that they have, and they recognize that nothing is written on that paperwork. They should have refused. If they were true doctors, if they were real doctors who do the real research because they care about their patients. But the problem is the only thing they have patience for is getting that almighty dollar. And so now they're being brought down as well. Hey, Dad, thanks for joining. Talking about no, not this time. Anyways, so with that kid, they actually help us, and so we should be grateful for that as well. That's why we need to pray for them, so that way they can actually see it for themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tennessee's put the communists in a meltdown once again. Tennessee lawmakers stuck it to Alvin Bragg's, stating that Alvin Bragg's case against Donald Trump is a quote-unquote textbook Soviet-style takedown, a parade of constitutional violations, and the only court case in American history where the Constitution was held in contempt and removed from the courtroom. Tennessee lawmakers have also stated that they're pushing for Alvin Bragg's to be investigated because Alvin Bragg's misused federal funds, manufacturing fake crimes and pretend cases, and slapping 34 counts on it, whilst the crime rate in his own city is rampant through the roof. Tennessee lawmakers stated that Alvin Bragg's must have had insufficient training because he obviously does not understand his role in the job.
Thoughts, Santino?
I love Tennessee. They really, they have been fighting as much as they could. And I know that a lot of the people up north might have a problem with Tennessee because of the whole divide that has been created between the citizens of this country because, ever since the Civil War, right? They made that division as well. And that division has been deep and strong and has created a lot of hate and discontent. And so people can't forgive and people think that they're backwards and upside down. They talk kind of funny, et cetera, whatever excuse people come up with to not listen to them. But you know what? Tennessee's the one out there doing the things right now. And I can truly appreciate that. Denise says, I want that guy to read audiobooks, the news, the phone book. LOL. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, he's got a great voice. Aaron says, isn't Tennessee the first state to pass a law against chemtrails? Actually, yes, sir, they were. Oh, well, Kay already got that one. Yes, they were the first state to pass a law against the chemtrails. And I think that's, again, they're trying to do whatever they, can as a state. They're standing up for the rights of American citizens the way a government is supposed to. It's crazy concepts.
Aaron wants him to read the congressional bills.
Yeah, I know. We just need him to read the things for us, so that way we'll read all the boring stuff, so that way we're actually interested enough to listen.
I know.
That's a good idea.
You ready?
Yeah.
In God we trust, in Gates we trust. Mr. Gates, when did you realize you were creating a monopoly? Monopoly's just a game, Senator. I'm trying to control the fucking world.
You want me to sing about meat?
Oh, no. I mean, it's about family.
They also make great shakes.
A couple of them. These are central casting. If I'm doing a movie,
I pick you. And I tried to address it using the only weapon I have, comedy. And that's all we do.
We still have comedy, though. We still have great comedy out there. There's always rambling Joe Biden. What the fuck?
So this guy's like central casting. You couldn't pick a better guy in Hollywood. There's no actor that could do it better.
And this woman addressed it with her heart. And you addressed it with bills and appropriations. And I wish you the best and thank you. And your concern is at that human level. And I hope people wake up, and they are. We ask for your help, and we'll try and help from this end, and we'll meet, and there will be a kinder, gentler nation one day. Thank you.
So, thoughts?
I think that that's amazing. It could. I mean, we know that Robin Williams disappeared a long time ago under suspicious circumstances, but that's also how they're able to make people pop up in different places, is it not? So, and then when the face faded from Schumer to Williams, Robin Williams, it was like, yeah, I could see how that could happen, and that would be really interesting. And the fact that he's talking about central casting, it would be nice if the masks came off, if there were actually credits at the end of this movie to tell us exactly who did what, because that's a pretty neat deal there. I really hope that Robin Williams is alive. So maybe some of my hope is showing through on that one. But
Denise agrees with you.
Denise says, please be true. I miss him so much. Yes, Denise. I totally miss Robin Williams. He's amazing.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
The Bible says in Isaiah 40:31 that those who trust in the Lord shall renew their strength. See, God wants you to know that if you're tired, if you're exhausted, if you're depleted and you feel like you cannot go forward and move forward, that as you trust in Him, He will give you the strength to take another step. That as you put your confidence in God, He will give you the capacity, the endurance to keep going, to keep moving forward, to keep putting one foot in front of the next. Because trusting God, believes for the best, hopes for the best, has confidence in faith that God will make a way, even when there appears to be no way, that God will see me through, even when I cannot see a way through myself. Trust in the Lord, and your strength will be renewed.
All right, Santino.
All right, I guess we're cutting it early tonight. But then again, Kay needs your prayers because she's not feeling so hot tonight. And she's going through her own personal having to persevere because of, what she's got going on with her tummy and everything. So with that being said, we all go through trials. We saw Kelly's going through trials. And, my friend Nick, he's going through trials. So many people are going through trials right now. And I'm sure that so many of you are as well. But we must persevere. We must keep on because there's no giving up. Giving up means that you just give in, and that isn't where any of us need to be. We must stay on the course. We must keep our faith when things are hard, when we're hurting, when everything seems to be going bad. That's when we need to turn it over. And that's one of the things that we're learning right now is absolute trust, faith, and confidence that God has this. It's not happening in our time. We would like it to be over sooner. There may be some weird things, but at the same time, we see glimmers of hope. And that's God giving us that little wink that, you know what? Something's working in the background, and it's up to you to see it. But recognize that these are the things that can help you keep driving forward. And maybe an actor, playing some character that's doing bad stuff, with the Constitution and the government and trying to enslave us all is kind of hollow with personal battles that you may have. But I'm pretty sure that if you look for those little beams of light coming through those rain clouds, you will find those beams of light. And those are the things that you need to focus on. Always keep that positive mindset. And when things go negative, it is difficult. It is hard to keep that faith and focus on God and know that everything's going to be fine when you're in the middle of the trial. But we will all make it through all of our individual challenges. We just have to keep the course. So with that being said, I hope that each and every one of you are able to keep that faith and that you're able to keep that positive attitude. And I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us today while we talked about all these things. Thank you for joining us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, and pilled.net. Exactly. Fight one more round and you'll never be whipped.
And if
100%.
you haven't yet, please take a moment and hit that thumbs up button if you're over on Rumble or YouTube. Hit that heart if you're over on X, and take that red pill if you're over on Pilled.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. We love you all. Have a great night. God bless and be safe.